After a wild February in the One Piece TCG market, where we saw some cards make insane price gains, March has been quieter. While not all singles and sealed products experienced dramatic shifts, this month still brought plenty of interesting developments. We saw the release of OP10, the first set of 2025, a few weeks ago, giving us new prices to track. Pre-orders for EB02 set to release in April and OP11 also went live on TCG Player. On top of that, Bandai announced the first ever set rotation for the One Piece TCG. And don't worry, if you're not sure what that means, I'll explain it in just a bit. While many of the biggest hits remained stable, we still saw some massive gains and losses in March. So let's go through everything together. As always, I'll break down the latest market trends, from the hottest singles to the biggest shift in prices. Hello Internet and welcome to my channel. TCG Monkey here with your monthly market overview. Let's start with sets that are yet to be released. EB02, the second mini set in the One Piece TCG, is set to hit Western shelves on April 25th. Booster boxes originally stood at $240, which is double their MSRP. While they have slowly declined over the past month, they're still sitting at a high $230, which translates to nearly $10 per pack. The hype around this set is clearly driving up prices. For comparison, OP10 booster boxes were priced at around $140 a couple of weeks before release, which is nearly $100 less than EB02. I believe this price spike is partly due to EB01's continued rise over the last 9 months. As EB01 becomes harder to find due to its limited print run, many players and collectors fear the same will happen with EB02 and are trying to get ahead of the market. Meanwhile, OP11 pre-orders went live at the start of March and have stayed around $220 per box. This set looks incredible, packed with top-tier cards and major hits, so I expected pre-sale to be high. That said, as with most pre-orders, we'll likely see a drop as we approach the release in June. Before diving into OP10's performance, let's talk about One Piece TCG's first ever set rotation. For those unfamiliar, Bandai announced that starting in April 2026, Block 1 cards will no longer be tournament legal. You can tell which Block A card belongs by the Devil Fruit icon in the bottom right corner next to the rarity symbol. So far we have 3 blocks. This means that from 2026 onward, sets from OP01 to OP04 will be rotated out of competitive play, except for Manga Rares, which will remain legal, possibly to protect their long-term value. Personally, I don't think this decision will affect Manga Rares much, as they're primarily high-end collector's items rather than playable cards. While some cards may be impacted, it's still too early to see any significant price shifts. Before continuing with the video, if you find this content interesting, I kindly ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This will help me grow and bring you better content. Thank you! Now let's finally take a look at OP10. As I mentioned in last month's Market Watch video, I expected booster boxes and packs to continue losing value, following a similar trend to OP08. Right now booster boxes are selling for roughly $120 on TCG Player, while single booster packs have dropped to just $3.70. This makes OP10 packs among the cheapest of any set, alongside OP08 and OP06. Since last month's pre-orders, OP10 packs have suffered a significant 63% decline. Diving into the most valuable singles, let's start with the rarest card of the set, Manga Rare Law. This card is currently worth $475, having lost 24% of its value since release. It's far from being one of the top tier Manga Rares, and is still well below the first Manga Rare Law from OP05, which is currently holding steady at $650. The Japanese version of the OP10 Manga Rare Law is valued at around $400, which aligns fairly closely with the English counterpart. Special Rare Uzohachi has been one of the biggest surprises of the set. Initially it was valued much lower, but it has skyrocketed to $180, marking an incredible 480% gain since pre-sales. This makes it the second most valuable card in OP10 at the moment. However, the Japanese version sits at just $60 and has maintained a steady price. Given this huge gap, I believe it's currently overvalued, likely due to the lack of many standout hits in OP10. It wouldn't be surprising to see this card decline in near future. Another notable card is Special Rare Edward Newgate, which is currently priced at $160. Its Japanese counterpart is valued between $90 and $100 and has been showing a slow but steady upward trend. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on to see if this trend continues. Special Rare Flampe, on the other hand, has been experiencing a rapid decline, dropping 45% to its current value of $80. The Japanese version is sitting at only $30, so I expect the English version to continue trending downward. Alt Art Divine Departure is currently sitting at $70, having lost 25% of its value. The Japanese version is valued at $50 and is also declining. Despite this downward trend, I believe this card will hold its value better than most in the long run. It captures an iconic moment from the series and is taken directly from the manga, making it a standout among collectors. It also happens to be my second favorite card from the set and remains the most expensive Alt Art in OP10. The last card I want to highlight is Alt Art Kuzan, which is currently worth $50, having dropped 50% from its pre-sale price. In my opinion, it's the best card in OP10, but even the Japanese version isn't particularly expensive, sitting at around $30. While I'd recommend monitoring its price movements over the next few months, I wouldn't sleep on this card too much. As a general rule, most cards tend to decline in value after release, before stabilizing at a certain price range unless a significant event shakes up the market, so I wouldn't be surprised if these prices continue to shift next month. Now, shifting our focus to sealed products, the set rotation announcement has yet to impact OP01 to OP04 booster boxes and packs. Most sealed products have remained relatively stable since last month. However, OP02 and OP03 booster boxes saw a 20% increase in March, now sitting at $190 each. Beyond that, most other sets haven't experienced significant price movement, with one major exception, EB01. This set saw another dramatic price increase of 30%, pushing booster boxes up to an astonishing $325, bringing them closer to OP01 booster boxes prices. For what I've gathered, both OP01 and EB01 have become nearly impossible to find in stores, which explains their high prices. OP01 maintains its value due to its status as the first OPTCG set, giving it a unique collector's appeal, while EB01's limited print run has driven its scarcity. Manga Rares have mostly maintained their prices from last month. The Golden Manga Roger had no sales on TCG Player throughout March, with the lowest available near mint copy still listed at $3,200, the same as February lowest sale. OP05 Manga Rare Luffy remains at around $2,400, continuing to be the most expensive normal Manga Rare, followed by its PRB01 reprint at $1,300. The only Manga Rare to see meaningful increase was OP09 Manga Rare Teach, which rose by 8% to $760. On the other hand, OP05 Manga Rare Kid saw the biggest decline, dropping 13% to $440. OP01 Alt Art leaders had an impressive month in March, with most of them seeing significant price gains. Zoro continued its strong upward trend, increasing by another 30% to reach $360, surpassing OP09 Special Rare Nami as the most valuable non-Manga Rare card. Meanwhile, this Nami saw an 8% drop, settling at around $300, though some copies have already sold for slightly less. Alt Art Law from OP01 also gained 15%, reaching $260, while Luffy, Crocodile and Oden saw increases of 16%, 18% and 25%, bringing their values to $205, $85 and $75 respectively. The only Alt Art leader from OP01 to decline this month was Doflamingo, which lost 20%, falling below $200. This card continues its downward trend, as it has now lost approximately $100 since October. Golden Dawns from PRB01 have been consistently rising, with an average increase of roughly 10% this month. Zoro's Golden Dawn remains the most valuable, reaching $325 after a 10% gain. Meanwhile, Yamato, Uta and Vivi saw an increase of 15%, bringing their values to $215, $210 and $150 respectively. Perona had an even stronger performance, surging by 27% to $180. In contrast to Golden Dawns, PRB01 Alt Art saw an overall decline in March. Katakuri experienced the biggest drop, falling 25%, while the Gum Gum Red Rock lost 15%. Katakuri's decline is likely tied to the set rotation announcement, as its Alt Art from OP03 also saw a 23% drop. Boa Hancock, however, was one of the month's winners. Her special rares from OP09 and OP04 both increased by 10%, bringing their values to $240 and $205 respectively. The biggest losers of the month were surely the special rare wanted posters from OP09. Luffy, Teach and Shanks all dropped by an average of 17%, now valued at $165, $125 and $110 respectively. Buggy took the biggest hit, plummeting by 33% to below $70. EB01 Altereds are also seeing a rise in price alongside sealed products. Mr. 2 experienced a 35% increase, climbing to $150, while Chopper made the most significant percentage jump of the month, surging by more than 60% to reach $60. That was it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this content useful. See you next time, TCG Monkey out.